Hey, Cash, thank you for sending in your video for the swing audit. Really looking forward to diving into this with you. There's some really good stuff we're going to start to unpack here. You hit the ball really well, but there's definitely a couple of things I think I can help you with, and we'll go back bit by bit. But anyone that's watching, please do share and subscribe to the channel. And if you want your free swing audit, simply click in the link in the description below, and I'll be able to provide you something just like this for your own game to be very personalized and to help you as much as possible. Okay, so let's dive into it. So I think the first one I want to look at is this shot here in particular. So there's some good parts to your setup. I suppose the main thing I'm going to talk about is the lack of loadedness in your swing. If you just watch your racket position here now, it always feels like it's slightly moving and drifting. It's never still and locked in for a long period. And because of that, I think you don't quite get the amount of coil and energy into the shot. Ultimately, what I'm seeing here, I'd love you to get some more power in your shot. So that's the big message I'm going to give you today. And as you can see there, as you bring it back, for me, it gets into this position too much. It doesn't stay in that position one I talk a lot about. So I talk a lot about the one, which should be about then hooded, two, where it drops in over your shoulder, around by your hips. So somewhere around about there, it stays quite tight to you. And three would go forward and make contact with the ball. So that 1, 2, 3 part of the swing for me is essential. I just think you're missing number 1. And because of that, you don't quite get that acceleration around your body into that position too. So let's have a look here. As you're hitting, it just feels like there's a lot coming from the arm. Doesn't feel like it coils too much. Similar thing as well. I like to talk about the angle of these shoulders. And I don't think your right shoulder is underneath your chin as much as it could be. Whereas I like to use this little tool, this little drawing tool here. So if I'm roughly going to be about there, and I would like the angle of the shoulders to be quite severe. So if your shoulders were at pretty much at about that point there, that would be really powerful. So yeah, no, ignore that. That's terrible. So what I'm trying to get at is that angle needs to be more severe, needs to be more up there, whereas your angle isn't severe. I might talk about that again in a second. So sorry for getting that a little bit wrong. But in simple terms, we're not coiling enough. And there's something just there. I'm going to look at the next frame. Look, lots of good things. Like I love how you're engaging your legs, you're getting down to the ball. You let that ball drop okay with the amount of height. I'd love to see you let that ball drop even lower right until its latest point before it hits the ground. The reason you let that ball drop low off the back, it creates space and it creates the ability to give you body weight in behind that ball hitting towards that front wall. Okay, so let me have a little look at this one there. So there's definitely something to do with your wrist. And yeah, there it is. Hard obviously to see here, and it would be great to see this from another angle. You see your wrist has that little bulge in. I do a lot of videos on this where that wrist twiddles. And the reason the wrist twiddles is a couple of things. It's possibly you're too close to the ball, and also you're getting power from the wrong sources. Again, let's just have a look at those shoulders. See, that for me, there's not enough tilt in the shoulders there. So if you had your, let me just try to get this. So your right shoulder there, your left shoulder should be around about there. So it's quite a severe tilt. I'd love to see you pulling that shoulder underneath your chin even more. That's going to cause a lot more power. And similarly, if you just look at that racket again, let me just move this. If you look at where that racket is, it's not quite in that position there. For me, it needs to be more hooded over and holding it in that position for longer, because there it's just coming through the arm. And then final thing I'm going to talk about is your follow through, how your follow through goes more across your body rather than up and through the line of the ball. So if your follow through finishes, let me try to show you what I mean there. I would like to see the arm around about there. And then I'd like to see the racket and the top of the racket head around about there. So much more of an extended follow through up towards the ceiling. I feel your follow through wraps around your body. And again, you're losing energy by that. You're dissipating the energy in slightly the wrong way. Can you see that there? How it's rolling around the ball, not really through the back of the ball. So let's just have a look at one or two more. So yeah, there we go. And you can see there, it's not a bad setup. It just doesn't look as aggressive as it could be. Again, I'm just going to reinforce shoulders and rackets. Those are the two things. Using a lot more coiled position, getting more torque in and around them. And then as you swing, you just see that wrist wobbles a little bit. And then when you hit, look at that. Yeah, it pulls around your body rather than finishing in an expressive position up and around there. So listen, I hope that helps. If you can incorporate a few of these tips, that'll be great. And yeah, anyone watching, please do share and subscribe. And remember, click that free swing audit. It's in the link in the description below. I'll see you at the next video. Cheers. Bye.